Right, so if you watched our previous video, you would have, well, we've said about it before, but you would have noticed that we had a very brief section on where we talked about the fact that this guy, back in the day, has actually done a little bit of steroids before.
Yeah, almost a decade ago now, that was. Almost, yeah.
And the reason we want to bring it up is because we obviously both together, to this day, promote natural bodybuilding. And we have our reasons to do that. Obviously, it's mostly to do with health. We think there's too many people that do it basically for no reason now, and they do it just because it's too easy. It's like this double-edged sword of people being way too open about steroid use, which is good because obviously it brings transparency to bodybuilding, it gives people realistic expectations. However, people do think now that, well, that influencer does it, and if that's all that makes him special, I'll do it too. It's that sort of thing. It might not be that simple for some people, but for a lot of people it does appear that way, and I can't help but make that judgment.
It just seems like a lot of people just want to do it just for other people's validation and hopefully to get more girls, and if that's the case, then, well, you're pathetic, basically. In my opinion, you are. You can't be doing that. You gotta do it for the right reasons.
Yeah. I mean, it's a strong word, but where there's truth to it, in a way, it's like, look, you should never do that sort of thing to yourself.
Or just to fit in. Yeah, don't do it just to try and fit into a gym environment as well, you know.
Because steroids, yeah, okay, there is the fun side of it. It's going to make training fun. It's going to make you look good. It's going to make you look good. So that makes it feel like it's for yourself. But actually, if your reason deep down is because of girls, that is a little bit crap.
That's very bad. Like that's just basically a beta mindset. If you're going to be doing that, you know, like, yeah, let's inject myself. That's just cheating anyway. Unless you really are doing it to compete,
and it's
that's more acceptable and respectable.
Yeah.
Like I don't really judge people that are doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah. Which, let's get back to the topic, because like Dave said there, you've got to do it for the right reasons.
I have actually done it for the wrong reason as well, and I regret it.
You've done it for the right and you've done it for the wrong reason, so we'll get into that now. So, first time around...
It was around...
Can you remember how old you were?
Yeah, I was 2015, I used it for the first time ever, and that was to compete in men's physique at the time, and it was a drug show, basically, as in, like, not drug shows like freaky, I just mean, like, it was not really for naturals.
It wasn't a natural show, yeah, it wasn't drug tested. And
at the time I thought that was the main reason I thought I needed to use it to compete, because at the time, like, the place I was training locally, the guy that was an IFBB pro there, and just basically said it was the best way to stand out if I wanted to stand a chance in the future to even get to Olympia, if I wanted to try, you know.
Yeah, because when we were younger, we used to only be interested in men's physique, to be honest with you, and we used to look at the Olympians in men's physique and just be like, wow, that looks so good, and that's where we want to go one day through competing. And he was real with us. He said, like, you ain't gonna make it there without juice. It's not gonna happen. So that's basically what tips Dave to do it. So that was number one reason. So that was actually the right reason.
Yeah, that was the right reason I did it for, yeah.
Yes, basically one reason to compete, or a very good reason is to... Sorry, one reason to do juice is to compete.
Yeah, but I did also do it for a bad reason. Just like an idiot, my curiosity got the best of me, and I thought, yeah, let me just try it to see what it's like. I already knew what it was like, so I didn't really need to do it, really. It's just like...
No, let me interrupt you. You knew what it was like doing, like, the weaker stuff, so the reason you did the next one is because it was going to be stronger stuff, right?
Yeah, and
So you did it only for the cut, right?
Yeah, and I was like, because I leaned out first before even using it for a while to see if I could get the best out of it, and I did do that, and I did look really good, and the strength just, like, went up really quick, and also...
what year was that? 2000
That was 2017.
17,
that was 2 years later. So I stayed natural for 2 years after I did that first show. And I wish I didn't really do that either, because it's just stupid. It was a really stupid reason, but yeah.
Okay, so 2015 you did it for a men's physique show. You actually, no, I said you did it for cut to cut actually, but you did bulk as well. So that year you bulked.
I did bulk at the same time, but I also I didn't use the injectables, like the strong stuff. I used tablet stuff. It was No, I'm not gonna say like what it is, but it was just tablets. It was weak stuff anyway.
Yeah, there's no need because we don't want to give people ideas. Fucking
exactly.
What else
It's
you
not. No, I'm not going to try and advertise that and try to say, yeah, use it. No, don't fucking use it.
No, it's not that. It's not that. That's not the point of what we want to do.
Yeah.
We actually want to give awareness.
And then 2 years later, I did do it again for the wrong reason. That was I thought, I just want to look really good, and I'm also very curious to see how strong I can get through a 10-week cycle as well. And I did get really strong. I did get really big really quickly as well. I was just thinking, wow, this is great. And I did think about using it again even after that. But luckily, it had a blessing in disguise. Like something really bad happened. I had a really bad, I don't know if you would call it an injury, but something was going on with my nervous system and my neck, I guess. That's what my osteopath said to me at the time. And then my left arm just suddenly got really weak, like the left tricep was just gone.
Tricep, yeah.
Yeah, and to the point that I couldn't even bench 60 kilos off a barbell bench, and even 50. I was like, we were at Pure Gym at the time. The first time it started happening, the first session, like Joe was spotting me on the bench press. I was doing 100 kilos. I couldn't even get 3 reps.
Which was like our normal weight, so like.
And that was like a month after the cycle it was as well.
Yeah, so it was. We were kind of on the same sort of strength. You would normally get more reps than me.
I should have got a lot more.
Basically, at that time, we would do the same weights, except Dave would probably get 2-3 more reps. And then this day, he got like 4 reps or something. And I was going, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's just like, I don't know.
I'm really weak. I can't do it. That's what they try to say. Because like, I physically can't do the weight.
So you're like, I can't do it.
I just thought to myself, when you get like bad weeks, you're just like, I was just having a bad week. I'll be stronger next week. No, I was just literally decaying over the weeks of my muscle. It was just going. My left arm was just really small.
So our like guess about what it was is we think that because when he did the second cycle second cycle wasn't really technically, was it? It was
the first cycle wasn't really a proper one, but the second one was the shit.
The
anyway.
2015 was when he competed for men's physique and didn't actually that big. Then the 2017 one was just for a bit of fun.
That was the stronger stuff as well.
Yeah, no intention to compete. It was just for fun. But Dave's strength was shooting up really quick, so he was squatting a lot, deadlifting a lot more. Well, a lot more than he used to do. You can squat those weights now, which is kind of funny. And that's through natural training, and it's been bloody loads of years of natural training.
7 years of natural training afterwards can still do a lot for people. And I'm 30 years old now as well, so even if you're a young person, a lot younger than me, you've definitely got loads of a much bigger chance of getting stronger without doing it on juice.
But let's go back to what we were saying. So that nerve thing, we think, was because he was just getting too strong, too quick.
In a small period of time, basically.
And obviously it's a very weird thing, because it doesn't happen to many people who do juice. Nobody has these weird nerve issues, but we can't help but
it could have been.
It was just too coincidental. Like, he'd come off the cycle after getting stupid strong, and then suddenly he's got like a nerve issue where his triceps just basically doing jack shit.
Yeah, and then I had to spend like a whole year or two, I think it was 2 years, 2 years of seeing the same osteopath. And to be fair, he did fix me, so it was worth the money. I spent a lot of money like every month. It was every 2 weeks for the first 3 or 4 months, and then it was like every month because I was slowly getting better.
Yeah, and that's a lot of money as well. So there's a reason not to do it, because you never know. Because when you do juice, you are going to get strong really quick compared to what your shapes were before. And okay, it might not be a nerve issue, but you could grow stronger. Your muscles could grow stronger than your tendons and ligaments, and that could result in like you bloody tearing something. Do you know what I mean? And for me, that is just not worth it. Like, gym, even though it's just bodybuilding is still supposed to make you reasonably healthy. It's supposed to make your bones stronger, your tendons and ligaments should get stronger and more adapted to the movements you do, along with your muscles. Your muscles shouldn't be going ahead of those and causing you to take time out of the gym to catch up and get rehab and fucking waste your money on physios and stuff. And it's not even just the money, it's your time as well. Like, how much did you hate having to go to physio? You had to go to Cheltenham every time. Which for us was a pain in the ass because it was always after work as well. Through rush hour traffic, waste your time. Don't get to go to the gym to do what you probably would have been doing if you didn't need to go to the physio.
That's it.
So, basically, back to the point at hand. Why did you never do it again?
Why should I never do it again?
Why did you never do it again? What made you decide from that day, from 2017, why did you decide, you know what, nah, not for me anymore?
Because actually, it's because of Joe. Yeah, excuse me. It's because of Joe here, really, because he's never used it at all, and he's still getting really strong. And I thought to myself, why the hell did I need to do it to begin with when Joe's been getting strong consistently every year? It means I shouldn't have ever done it, just because of curiosity reasons. The first time was fine, but I should not have done it again in 2017. As in like the 10-week strong cycle, And also, you should just never do it at all, even if you are firstly getting into it. If you're a young kid, as young kids, they probably go to these big time gyms as well. They go straight to the big time gyms and they see these like professional like bodybuilders actually competing and think, oh, that looks cool, let me get the injectable. It's like, no, you need to stay the fuck away from those, mate. Like,
I'll be honest, like, it is cringe as well. When
some people just do it for validation only. It's just like, and they're like, hey bro, do I look good? And they actually take their tops off sometimes for them to see. It's like, no.
And then they have the cheek to come up to people like us. Like, obviously, yeah, okay, we've just talked about the fact that he did gear, but he came off in 2017 and he's had 7 years of drug-free training now.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
exactly.
and that was after he had nerve damage. So he basically, I'm being serious. We'll try and find another picture. I'm sure we put a picture before, but we'll get that picture back up for this, just to show you that he had to rebuild himself with like since not using it. So
I looked like a bag of shit. I did as well. I really did.
Yeah. So he actually went back to like you went
before my natural peak at the time. At the time, obviously, there's no such thing as a natural peak in my opinion now. You know, but,
no, exactly. It gets slower, and you have to get more creative and maybe a bit more aggressive with training, whilst also being focused. Obviously, we'll get into that, but there ain't really a natural peak. It's just it slows down.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that have shown that on Instagram and even on YouTube that can show you that there's not really such thing as a natural limit unless you're like an old man who can't really do it anymore. That's different, but
exactly.
You know,
but yeah, going on gear now just seems to be too normalised.
Too normalised, yeah. I was about to say
and we hate it because I do you know what? I enjoy people using steroids. I enjoy other people using it when it's the right people.
When it's the right people.
I like watching people who know how they're doing. Do it for bodybuilding shows. Do it because they've already proved it.
Or powerlifting's fine. Do it for powerlifting
as well. Yeah, powerlifting. Or even right. I don't know if you agree with this or not, but there are some people who just do juice to get really strong in certain movements just for the fun of it.
Yeah, just for social growth. If it's for social growth, that's a stupid reason really to do it.
But I don't mind people who do it for themselves because they just want to get stupid strong and they want to do it. And they've already been training like 5-10 years plus or whatever without gear, because I think that kind of proves that they're interested in it enough.
Yeah, and if you have been training seriously naturally for the last 5 years or 6 years, you'll probably think to yourself, I actually don't need steroids to get stronger after that time. You know, if you have grown that lot, you'll probably be thinking, I don't need the gear to actually get strong because I've made loads of strength gains in these last 5 years, so why do I need it now? That's how you need to think. That's if you've got the right mindset. If you're still someone who thinks, I've had 5 years, now I can do it. No.
Yeah, there's no like time scale on when's the best time to do it or whatever. It's just you do it when you've got the right reason, and that's the only thing. Like you don't just do it because you've been training X amount of time and you've hit your shit natural peak. I'm saying shit because people who say they hit a natural peak. I look at when they say they're at that natural, I'm just like, you're a joke.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't at your natural peak.
I almost had the idea of like after I was getting better, think, I might actually use it again. I'm glad I didn't, because I almost did want to use it again just to try and play catch up, and I still caught up again anyway, so it's alright without using anything.
It's almost like it would almost like ruin bodybuilding again for you anyway, because you would just get strong really quick and you'd be like, well, that's that then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm squatting 200 again.
Yeah, it's like you've completed. You're playing a video game and you're using cheat codes all the time.
Or something, yeah.
Or if you're playing Warzone online gaming, use the assist aiming all the time and just shoot people easily straight away. When when you're completely outnumbered, but you're 1 against 8 people, so you're bam, 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 bam. No.
Yeah.
It's not respectable. That's all.
No, it's fun to get strong natural. It's fun to put in that work and do it over time and then see the graft over the years. It is fun. And people have just lost that value because everyone wants, I think we talked about it earlier, where everyone wants instant gratification and validation.
Yeah, the only problem when you're natural and you have gained this muscle for throughout the years of training, like you'll get good and bad just opinions from other people. It's like you'll get like the really good opinions. It's like, wow man, you've been doing this throughout these years. It's like, and then there's some people are like, just admit it, you're using steroids, you are. Yeah. It's like those ones are the betas, by the way. Those are the ones that have had to use it themselves to get big and just think it's not believable. It's not possible.
It's really weak-minded, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like that. There's that Panabolic guy. He's another vegan bodybuilder, and like Brian Turner shared him, and he was shredded at the time. He's got an amazing physique. He's got very good legs, but he was only showing his upper body, and his upper body, when I looked at him shredded, very good physique, very aesthetic. Very men's physique, his upper body. Like he didn't have like the bodybuilder look. He's basically from the front, from the side, just looked natural to me. And everyone's like, "He's on gear. Why are you sharing that?" It's like bloody hell. Like, what is your expectation of what it takes to like look like that? Like, you really think you need gear to look like he does. I'll try and find that picture.
I don't
as well.
actually know how many years he's been trained, but I'm sure he's natural anyway.
I'm fairly certain. I mean, you can never know. We don't know the guy, and we can't be 100% about anybody on socials. But just looking at his physique, I know you could do it natural. We've been training like almost 15 years or whatever now. I forget how long it's actually been. It's about 15 years.
Now, yeah.
I know what you can achieve, or at least what is possible. And I've seen many people, like other naturals, do far more amazing things than Plantabolic, more amazing things than us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it just depends on you. Like, do you want to put in that time? Do you want to put in that effort? Do you want to eat all the meals? Do you want to go to bed on time, get your sleep in?
Exactly.
Do you want to, like, do your deadlifts and fucking go all out?
And do you want to
whether
quit
you can
partying
be
weekends?
fucked or not? Like, there are days where you go to do deadlifts and that shit feels heavier than usual.
Yeah.
And you know what? You fucking go in there and you do it anyway, and you finish your workout and then you get out. And then guess what? You go again next week and you try just as hard and it might feel better. But you keep repeating that shit and it takes ages.
Yeah, you can't do this and drinking though. Quit drinking if you want to be the best of the best. Or just be the best version of yourself anyway.
You can drink, like, every now and then.
But not every weekend.
But don't do it every week.
Do it every weekend. Because some people think, I train every day in the weekdays. I'm going to drink every weekend though. It's like, no,
don't worry about
bin that, man. You don't need that.
Yeah, you can't. All it will do is ruin the recovery from all those hard sessions you put in during the week just to go and binge at the weekend. Like, that's not worth it.
Not good for your hormones.
No. So, anyway, let's try and wrap this up. I feel like the reason we want to bring awareness to Dave's story specifically is because obviously we promote natural bodybuilding now. Obviously, I've always been natural, but Dave promotes natural bodybuilding along with me because we train natural together. He don't do juice anymore. He hasn't done it for 7 years, and he doesn't want to do it, and he hates the fact that he did it. There is regret, isn't there?
Massive regrets, yeah.
He's not happy that he did it. He wishes that he did. You had other influences basically at the time. There was. We won't talk about that. He had other influences. I don't want to like badmouth anybody. That's the reason I don't want to talk about the influence.
Don't mention that at all.
Because that's not the point. But there were influence on Dave that made him kind of feel like he had to do it. You almost felt like you had to for that men's physique show. And what's annoying is when I look at the shape he was in, we know we could have got you in that shape. We could have got you in better shape natural.
Yeah. I lost too much muscle at the time.
I could have coached Dave to that show, didn't I? Well, I don't mean back then. Back then I couldn't have.
We can show you how the eye looked if you anyway, put it on there too.
Yeah.
I didn't. That looks like a natural person's build. Just thinking back to it.
Fucked.
It doesn't matter now. It's done, isn't it? You know?
So basically, we wanted to talk about Dave's experience because we know as much as we promote natural bodybuilding, we know the temptation is there, but we want to basically tell people that don't think it's worth it. And if anyone will come up to us in the gym and talk about it and almost like assume that we're on it, it's kind of annoying. But I've had people talk to me all the time and they almost think that they're waiting for you to open up about your usage. I'm like, well, don't fucking do it, so I know what the fuck you're on about. When they talk about their cycles, like, honestly, I have no idea.
They're waiting for you to say, yeah, that's a good one. It's like, yeah, I'm not using it.
Exactly. But and the fact that is gym culture now is disheartening a little bit, and it can be for a lot of people that don't want to do juice and they feel like they have to because they're not as big as someone else or they're not growing as quick, so they feel like there's something missing for them, then they find the juice. But you don't need to do that. What you need to do is do your research, and if you're that desperate to speed up the process, it's going to cost you money, but you go and get yourself a natural bodybuilding coach. They'll save you a lot of fucking time. Trial and error. They'll tell you what to eat. They'll tell you how to train, how much training volume is needed specifically for you as a newbie. And they'll tell you the workouts as well, because newbies don't need to train like me and Dave. Me and Dave train like fucking idiots, but not idiots, actually. We train like animals because we put in so much volume. There's method to our madness, but we train fucking hard.
Yeah.
And we train for hours when we go in. We're not in there for like an hour. And that's not what people recommend. People recommend you're in for 45 minutes to an hour. I don't give a fuck about that. That's not what me and Dave need. Me and Dave need time.
To do what we want to hit what we want to hit, we have to spend longer than what most normal people would want to do it for.
Exactly. So that's why I say, as a newbie, don't just copy people like me and Dave, because that ain't going to work for you. You ain't recovering from that. That'll hinder you and just slow you down. You need to go and get a coach who's got experience working with lots of newbie athletes. Even for me, like one day maybe I will be a coach, but it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I ain't coach people who are fresh to the gym. I only train with Dave. I kind of coach Dave to an extent because we do the same stuff, and really I'm only helping him with food, really, and he doesn't even need that anymore. Initially I helped you just because you switched to vegan with me.
Yeah.
I kind of just helped you with the ideas of what
a little bit of the training as well, because I just used to train how I wanted and just I didn't really I used to do so. I used to still train hard, but I didn't used to.
It was what you
do
felt like.
certain things properly that I could have done better.
It was what you felt like doing in it every time, which is good when you're new to it, and it doesn't matter as long as, like Dave said, you train hard. But it gets to a point where that stops being enough.
You'll hit a wall at some point, though.
Yeah, you need to be a bit more tactical and understand training volume a little bit. And even with me, I probably had the opposite thing, because we both had phases of training on our own. As a natural, sometimes I probably weren't training hard enough. I had to learn intensity from him. So I basically, I look at it as a trade-off. I probably gave David a bit more like...
Joe used to do too careful
tips.
training. Sometimes he still is a bit like that. I have to stop thinking too much and actually just do the weight. You know?
So I watch him squat, I watch him do leg press. I used to think... do you know what I was thinking about this today? Like today, I was like, now when we train legs now, I get sad when squats are done. Back in the day, I used to be fucking relieved. Oh, thank God that's done.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, I've got to wait another bloody week to do that again. Like, that's how it should be, because you enjoy the pain. So I've learned from him, basically, because I used to watch him doing squats and think, oh, God, how's he still going? Like, my legs would be fucked. Or I'd just be hurting, I'd give up by now.
Yeah.
But that's not bodybuilding. Like, that's where you need to learn intensity. So you can learn from everyone, and then as a natural, intensity means a lot.
Yeah, try and get a training partner if you can as well. That's actually got the same mindset as you, to try and get better and always try and better each other.
Exactly. Yeah, unfortunately not everyone's got a brother who's just as obsessed, so
yeah.
Can't help you with that one. But yeah, anyway, let's wrap this up. Juice is too common. It's fine to do it. Have your right reasons to do it. Never do it for women. Only do it for yourself.
Yeah, don't do it for your mind.
Never do it to impress mates either.
Yeah, no, to impress your mates. Don't do it because you're what's the word?
You want
got bad mental health. Don't do it because of your mental health. Go to the gym for your mental health, but don't use steroids because of your mental health.
Yeah, because it will make it worse. Because we've got body dysmorphia now. Like, we always think we need to be bigger, we need to be better. Going on the juice is going to make that 10 times worse, because you're going to grow so much more, but then you're still going to look at yourself and think, I need more. But then, yeah, like he said, you're now on it now, and you feel like
now you're always reliant on it. It's like, oh, I'm slowly getting weaker again. I better get some more dosages. It's like, nope, that's just going to screw you in the long term.
Exactly. So people being open about juice is great, but it's also been a real bloody problem. I can't stand it. I'll be honest with you. We're gonna get loads of hate if people actually do watch this.
It's just some people that actually just go on the gear, train for like 6 months to a year, and then they claim to be online coach.
And then they act like they're on our level as well. Yeah. I'm just being honest. Like, I don't give a fuck what people think. Yeah, that does piss me off when someone's been training for like 6 months and they look like me. I'm like, fuck you. It took me 15 years.
And when they do coaching afterwards, because they know shit. That's the worst. It's like, such an idiot, man. It's like,
it's cringe. Very cringe.
Anyway, we're going too far again into deep things. Like.
It's obviously a topic that clearly is very sensitive to us.
Yeah. We're quite passionate about saying why you shouldn't do that.
Anyway, but now you know the truth. Like, we wanted to just talk about this because transparency is always key. As much as we were just saying it can be a double-edged sword, in this case it's more to raise awareness of why the hell you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we don't think anyone should. Only unless it's your real passion and you want to compete, or you've got some other really deep reason for doing it and it's going to make your life better somehow. I don't really know how.
If your testosterone's so low you can't build muscle, then you might need it.
Yeah, if you're an old man, crack on. Do what you need to do, you live once, but yeah. Anyway, that's a wrap.
Yeah, there's nothing else to say on that topic. If you like the video, obviously click the like button. Comment as well if you disagree with us or if you agree with us, and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, exactly.